In the first part of this discussion of COVID-19 and fake news, I introduced one of the central ideas of critical thinking, which is to identify and examine our assumptions. Once we realize that we're reaching a conclusion because of a false assumption, we need to go back and review and perhaps revise our opinion. In this video, I'd like to look at another aspect of critical thinking, the way we process information coming from experts. In the previous video, Alan pointed out that experts are not always in agreement.
I've even heard experts say that this virus was clearly genetically modified and they were trying to prove it. So it makes it hard for me to take any side of the whole thing.
A lot of people do take sides though, and the way they do it is very often something like this. One person, often but not always someone considered to be an expert in their field, makes a controversial statement, and other experts in the same field make it clear that they disagree and that in their view the first expert is wrong. And then suddenly, large numbers of people who, in all probability, had never heard of any of these experts, decide, with no clear evidence, that all the other experts are wrong, and the expert who's making the controversial claim is right. People who generally don't have any respect for experts will love this particular expert. It doesn't matter whether he's been discredited, or whether his claims can be proved wrong by rational argument. Millions of people will choose to believe him and to ignore what all the other experts in the field are saying. So let's look at an example of that. On April the 15th, 2020, Luc Montagnier, who in 2008 was joint winner of the Nobel Prize for Medicine for his work on the discovery of the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, went on record as saying that SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, is not of natural origin, but it was manipulated in a laboratory.
He claimed that he studied the virus and realized that he found traces of the old coronavirus that caused SARS. Okay. And he could find, he found some traces of HIV in it.
So the claim is that the virus that causes COVID-19 contains elements of HIV.
Is it true or not?
But of course it's true. It's true in the sense that you will find the same words in William Shakespeare that you will find in Charles Dickens and you will find in a modern novelist. It doesn't mean to say
exactly
that they derived from each other. They're all based on the same dictionary. And that's the basic flaw of this man's argument.
Yeah.
Of course there are strands of DNA because those are the building bricks of all DNA. But Montagnier is saying more than that. He's saying that the virus that causes COVID-19 contains elements of HIV that could not occur naturally. And the response of the scientific community to that is pretty clear. In the words of the mathematician and statistician Philippe Lacoud, this claim is extremely easy to debunk. NCBI, the National Centre for Biotechnology and Information, maintains a database called BLAST, Basic Local Alignment Search Tool, which has been set up specifically for the purposes of finding regions of similarity between biological sequences. The same site gives the entire genetic code for the virus, and all we have to do is select to compare it with HIV and run the program. The result? No significant similarity was found. And there are several academic papers out there, written by acknowledged experts in the field, such as this one in the journal Nature, that argue strongly that the virus does not originate from a laboratory. As far as the vast majority of qualified experts in the world is concerned, Montagnier's claim is false. As for Montagnier himself, well, he's nothing if not controversial.
Yeah.
He's a
Great.
discredited scientist anyway. He's already been. I mean, he did get a Nobel Prize as part of a team a number of
Yeah.
years ago, but he is not a respected man in his field any longer.
He. Why was he discredited?
Because he
Do you
has
know?
he like other people. Dr. Shiva is another one, an Indian guy. Shiva, he's living in
Yeah.
America, but he's Indian
Yeah.
origin, and they're on an
I know him.
anti-vaccine. They claim to have another approach to medicine separate from vaccines. They want. In addition to his unorthodox ideas about vaccines, Montagnier is on record as, among other things, supporting homeopathy and asserting that DNA emits electromagnetic waves. He's lost the support of the majority of his colleagues in the scientific community, and funding for his research has dried up. To sum up the situation regarding his claim about the virus that causes COVID-19, he himself admits that he has only made a computer study of the DNA code. He hasn't actually studied the virus itself. He hasn't published an academic paper presenting the details of his analysis. His claims have been shown to be wrong by other specialists in the field, and his reputation among his colleagues has been going down for years. And none of that means that he's absolutely and definitively wrong, but looking at it logically, there's no reason to suppose that he's right, and plenty of reason to doubt what he says. And yet, there's no shortage of people on YouTube and Twitter who clearly believe him. So, what is or what should be the role of educators in this situation? Well, we know how hard it is to become an expert in a field like this because we know how difficult it was for us to become specialists in our own field. If, like many educators, we are also researchers and we're writing academic papers and so on, we must know how carefully such papers are checked by academic journals and how difficult it is to get them published. Which means that we're also pretty aware of how badly the people who publish their research results do not want to get it wrong. A paper that's poorly researched or that misrepresents facts can do huge damage to a researcher's reputation. And indeed, the only paper so far to support the claim that the virus that causes COVID-19 was manipulated in a laboratory was published online before peer review and removed very quickly afterwards when it emerged that there were a number of basic errors in it. One thing that's beyond doubt is that the virus is spread all over the world. There's plenty of it out there. And there's a huge amount of interest in it by virologists and other scientists. This virus has come under more scrutiny in the last few months than anything else. Scientists in every country, under every political system, and with every resource available, have given their best efforts to trying to understand it. If there really was any significant evidence that it was engineered in a laboratory and not of natural origin, that evidence would be observable by scientists all over the world, who would be able to confirm it independently in their own laboratories with their own research methods. If Montagnier was right, other specialists in the field would be in a position to support his findings. Even if we believe that scientists in some countries might be prevented from speaking out for political reasons, it's hard to believe that they would all be silenced in all countries and under all political systems. If China was hiding something, the United States would be all too happy to prove that China was hiding something. The American president would love to be able to demonstrate to the world that the virus had indeed been engineered in a Chinese laboratory. But his own scientists are telling him that this is simply not the case. So the psychology of conspiracy theories, well, that's a topic for another video. But at this stage, I think we can say that what we as teachers need to be doing is impressing on our students the importance of respecting people who are experts in their field. And that will mean, in this case, accepting that the claim that the virus was created in a laboratory is unproven, and that the research showing the virus has a natural origin is almost certainly correct.